So good morning everyone, welcome to my first ever YouTube video. I'm a bit nervous and I'm hoping I can film it all correctly, but we'll see how it goes. So now the Gothic Witchy journal is finally complete, it's time to move on to my next project, which as promised is going to be a Peter Rabbit themed journal, and I'm going to be mainly using the Peter's World range by Memory Place. So I'm going to be filming the entire process of putting together this journal. So over on my TikTok channel, I'm going to have short, faster clips of each step. And here on my YouTube, fingers crossed, I'm going to be having more in-depth tutorials. So today, in today's video, I'm going to be putting together the front cover, the back cover and the spine, combining it all and getting our outer shell ready to put the pages in. I'm going to be making another nice big chunky journal, but you can make a journal any size that you like. For example, here's a mini journal that I made, which is going to be on a much smaller scale, and it was made in the exact same process as I'm using today. But like I say, the fun about junk journals is you can chop and change and mix and match things and kind of have a play around to see what suits you and what sizes you like to work with. So what I'm going to do first of all is write my sizes out on this chipboard here, cut them out, and then we'll begin to prepare the journal cover together. For this journal, I'm going to be having my front and back cover at 16.5 centimeters wide, and I'm going to have an 11 centimeter spine. Now again, you can have this much smaller, you can have it much bigger, you can have it in a rectangle shape, you can have it in a square shape, you can have it more like a photo album and have a longer but thinner cover and back cover, but it's completely up to you. Again, I'm just showing you how I personally do it, and these are the dimensions that I'm going to be using for this journal. Like I said, it's going to be a nice big chunky one. Okay, so now we have our back cover, our front cover and our spine. It is very chunky, and that is because I like to really heavily embellish my journals. So the next step that we need to do is combine each part. Now you could just go straight in and combine these using your fabric of choice. However, because again I like to make mine big and heavy and chunky and full of lots of treasures, I am going to go in with some bookbinding tape, which I've got here. Now, first of all, what you need to do is ensure that you've got enough space between your front and back cover and the spine. You can kind of see that I've put a rough guide there. Now, general rule of thumb is to have the width as 3 widths, or widths, is that even a word, of your cover. So I'm going to put this here. I'm going to grab another piece like this. As you can see, that's slightly too small, and I'm going to put it out a little bit more, and that gives me roughly 3 pieces. And that is to make sure that once your cover and spine are combined, you do have enough room for the spine to open up. And again, that is because I am heavily embellishing my journal, and it's going to be packed full of folios, lots of different fun things. And then what I'm going to do is go in with my bookbinding tape. I think you can get this in a bunch of different colours, but you can never see it through your fabric anyway. So I'm going to take my tape and just place it over both sides. And then I can turn that round and put it up like that. So now you have your front and your back cover bound. And then what I always like to do is go in and make sure not to cut it through, but go in and recrease in the gap between your front and back cover. That way you can make sure that it's got enough space to move and close and open easily. So I'm just going to do that on both sides, and then you'll find you're ready to cover with your fabric. So that now closes and it opens enough too. It's not restricted when it's opening and it's not restricted when it's closing. So now we know that we've got a base that will sit comfortably and be usable. Now the next thing you need to do is decide on the fabric that you're going to use. So I did have a chat with some of you on my TikTok live and we decided on a fabric together. So I'm going to get that now and I'm going to show you how again, everyone does it slightly differently. I'm going to show you how I personally wrap my journals with the fabric. You can do this in a couple of different ways. Some people upcycle books, so you would have your front and your back cover, perhaps the front of a little golden book or whatever you're working with, and then you're only going to wrap your spine in fabric. It's completely down to you. For this project, I'm going to do it much like I did with this mini journal here and wrap the whole thing in the same fabric.